Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Twitch, YouTube, India, France, United Kingdom, anywhere in the world. Good morning, everyone. Good day, everyone. Hello, Raj. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Alami. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm like still waking up somehow. Kind of missed the alarm this morning, but
Oh,
I'm glad I got messages from my colleague reminding me I had to work.
yeah.
so so I managed to show up on time. Hey Paul, long time no see. I was actually we saw your message before starting the stream with Raj, and we were like, so Raj was telling me the story of how like he saw your article, he shared it within the company, and then he kind of see you like coming from that article all the way to talking at Postcon. And then I was like, I used to see that guy a lot on the community forum, but where is he now? So I don't know who you are, Paul. What are you up to? I'm not saying you should spend more time on the community forum, but we loved having you there. Just FYI. um, so what are we doing today? Um, so this is the monthly Postman office hours. It's the first time we're streaming on both Twitch and YouTube, so I wanna reiterate what this is about. This is about you or like anyone watching that has questions about Postman, whether you're a Postman employee, whether you're a Postman user, whether you don't know what Postman is and you just want to learn about it. Um, it's a whole hour. You just ask your questions. So Raj, who's a technical support engineer, right?
Yes.
Yeah, is basically the right person to answer, and I'm the right person to do the talking on the side. Uh, um, Karim, hello. How are you doing? And then we'll do, yeah, if there's no questions, we'll just go through like exploring some functionalities of Postman that maybe or may not be new, but like could be useful. And we'll go through the community forum as well, see if there's any questions. Karim says he just handed
Yes.
in his internship test.
Yeah.
He's looking forward to joining Postman. Well, we hope you'll be joining Postman too. And
Yes.
Francis is saying hi. Hey, Francis. So as we have other people from the support team on the chat, which is nice. I'm hoping to get Francis on the stream as well someday. I just it was just too late this time. I just started too late. I didn't have time to ask him. But
Yeah.
hopefully
Oh,
next month we get Francis on here.
practice.
Okay, so what do we start with, Raj?
Let's start with the data files that we wanted
Already
to see him.
straight in.
Yeah.
Wow. I was gonna say let's start with in case you missed it first.
Yeah. In case we missed it. Right. So what are the new inputs, man?
Yeah,
That's
I guess I need to get you more often on the stream as well. You forgot that the first thing is in case you missed it. Okay, so what's new? Nothing. Done. Nothing's new. To be fair.
yeah.
So we did the last stream was last Thursday. So when we stream like from a Thursday to a Monday, there's not a release in between. It's hard to find anything new. One thing that is new is that um, our conference, which was PostCon last year and is going to be virtual this year, called Postman Galaxy this year, uh, will be very soon announced. So keep an eye out. We'll do like call for papers. We'll do, yeah, just keep an eye out. And if you wanna, it's gonna be over like two times. So like people from India or like from like the APAC region, so Asia Pacific, and people from the US. There's gonna be like everything covered, so you'll be able to join the sessions from wherever you are. And we're hoping to get like speakers from everywhere, as always. Hey Abhishek, you love Postman. We love Postman too. Do you love Postman, Raj?
Yeah. I love Postman.
Good.
I love Postmanauts who love using Postman.
So Karim was asking any interview tips for software engineer interview. Uh, do you have any?
No, but I think there was an article I think Save Khan had written, one of the engineers in Medium. I
Okay.
can look it up and share for you, maybe.
So is it
And
on his personal medium or is it on the?
it's on the Medium. I
Okay.
think I saw
Okay.
that one. So
Yeah. So like there's always like, if we had to start a conversation, different companies will do interviews differently, right? Like Google is known for their type of very like deep and thorough software engineer interviews where you have to go through like specific algorithms, etc. I'm not sure about Postman. I think we kind of, what we like to do is put you in a specific use case and try to see how you would go to resolve a specific problem rather than just go like generic algorithms. Even though you would be using some algorithms to solve that problem. But yeah, I think that's a conversation for a whole stream. So back to what's new. I'll just do a quick tour into Community Showcase and see, just in case I missed anything. So speaking of events or like taking part in Postman stuff, we also have a Postman blog now, which is a participation program. So if you want to write about anything APIs related and you want to be featured on our blog, you can reach out to us and send us that blog, and we'll just include you in our like communication, whether it is like our blog or like our newsletter, etc., etc. So yeah, check that out as well. But with that said, and now I think we can go into the heart of Postman and do some, what was it? Data file?
Data files, yeah.
Okay, let's do that. So as you may or may not know, you can now use Postman from the web. And every time I do a stream, I like to do that. And sometimes I have to revert to the app because it's still in beta, so it's missing some functionalities. But most of the time, it actually works. So let's see if we can do data files through the web version of Postman. Raj, do you know
Yes.
where do I start?
Yes, I can go to the link go.postman.co/build.
Yeah.
That's the URL.
Oh, I forgot to share my screen with you. That would help. Now you should see my screen.
Yes, all right. See it now. So I think earlier we had this runner as a separate tab, right? So in beta we have this runner within. So we can click on the runner on the top left. Yes. And there you have
Okay.
it.
Nice.
Side. Compact.
So yeah, I'm gonna compare with the app.
Right.
So if I start the app and try to click runner, yeah, it opens the different windows. And we had the same for the console, right? Like before, if you used to like open the console, it would open a new window, and now you have it like just like in your browser, like in the same window. Okay, cool. Good.
And we can actually drag and drop ads also.
Yeah, the pans.
The collection, yeah.
Yep. Okay, so do I need to create a collection first, maybe?
Okay, yeah, we can.
Let's do. So for anyone watching, again, if you have any questions, ask them. If you don't, I will just show you how to do like, not basic, but like some use cases with Postman. And this one is working with data files. And a good start for anything is always the documentation. So I guess if I'm looking for data files, yeah, there we go.
Yes.
Importing data files. Running collections with data files. Okay, cool. When you initiate a collection run, you receive an option to select the data file. Click runner. Okay, then you select your data file. And there's a sample collection for that. So let's do this.
Oh.
Copy paste that. Import. Okay, so it detects it's a collection. I can import it, and I have using data files. I'm gonna put it at the top.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And do I need a sample file with that? Yeah. So it says download and import it into Postman, which I've done.
Okay.
Then choose the collection you imported. Yeah. And I need to download that file. So let's do download. data file .json. Okay, so basically what this will do, this data file, and if we can explore it and see what it does. Code. So it contains, it's just JSON, right? And it has a key. It's a JSON array. It has a key of path, which is the name of the variable. And then it has a value. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I'm not mistaken, again, stop me if I'm wrong, what it's going to do is going to replace that variable that we have here by the value which is in that data file. So I should be able to go here. And you say I can drag and drop the collection from the site? Okay.
Right, yeah, I can drop.
Okay, cool. Did not know that. So, get my file. Okay. So I'm guessing it detects that it's an array of 4.
4.
Okay. And what are the options here?
There's you can watch for the view what the data file has. I think click on preview. Let's check. Yes, we can see what the values are going to be for the 4 iterations because of data. And then we can save responses.
Yeah. So save responses will. Okay, so does it mean it's going to save them in the console, or does it save them like?
It will save it in the console. You'll be able to see the values that been inputted for that run.
Write the value of the variable at the end of the run, so that lets us know what was it run with as values.
Correct.
Without using stored cookies. So I'm guessing this is if you want to try a website, like if you're trying to try logging into a website on a like continuously. Obviously, you don't want to store the cookies because otherwise it's going to keep your session. So you can tick that, and then you can keep on trying to log in, for example, without like storing the cookies. Or you can save the cookies. Again, I think for this specific Postman echo request, it shouldn't be needed. So let's see. Run using data files. Okay, cool. So stuff has happened. What happened? Actually, I really like that UI. This is super nice. So it ran it 4 times with the 4 different values. We can see straight here that it was like, okay, like 200, okay, status. The last one somehow took 1.6 seconds to run, and there's a different size to them. So if I go back to my request, I think there was tests in there, and the test was we're getting the response body, and we check if there's data in there. So it ran that 4 times, and 4 times it passed. So if I add a test here, and let's make sure that we add a breaking test to see what happens. Or let's try to add one that may or may not break. So we'll take the response time is less than 200.
Okay. I think you're not, 200.
Yeah, I think that should be fine. Hopefully, if we have like more or less the same run, right, 2 of them should fail and 2 of them should succeed.
Yes.
Let's see. Run again. Okay. So it says at the top, 4 have passed.
4 passed. 1 has failed. But again, how is that possible?
How is that possible? I think so. It counts as, yeah, that's true. It's a bit of a weird numbering, right? Because I think if you have all the tests in one request that pass, then it counts the whole request as a pass.
Okay. I know you had 2 requests there. In the tests also you had 2.
Yeah. But then like I feel like it should say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 have passed and 1 has failed, right?
Yeah.
So that's a I'll turn to my technical support engineer and ask that you provide that feedback to the product team.
Yes, sure. Writing it now.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I like it. I guess that makes sense. 1 failed for sure. That makes sense. And okay, so that's Why we decided to go with that demo, by the way, is because we had a question on Twitter earlier yesterday. Someone asking how to work with a data file. So just wanted to see like that is quite approachable. But yeah, is there any other tricks with that you know of?
I think one more thing that I know is after you have run a couple of runs using the collection runner, we would want to know the history, right? What were the runs? Whatever I have made. So the history now gives you that data.
Okay.
If you click on history.
So this one.
Yeah, all right, that one. And you have that. It shows you the collection, like whatever the files that you have selected. So earlier we would know that whatever was run. So now it's
I actually didn't know about that. That's very cool. Yeah, because so if I compare again, let's say I'm gonna run a collection runner that's probably going to fail. I'm just gonna run this one.
So we're gonna Joyce, right? Okay. Is that this?
So it failed, but if I go to history, it doesn't show, right? So it should show. Oh, I'm losing Raj. Oh, he's back. Yep, but of an internet disconnect.
Yeah.
Got me scared for a second. Okay, so yeah, so that, like, this is going to come in the next version of the app, I'm guessing.
Right. The next version, because I think that's the beta where you have the latest ones there, and that's gonna be imported.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, so let me see if the documentation is saying anything more about this. Data you have defined will be used, so that we've seen, and it just tells you how you can access the direct value from it. So basically what this tells me is that if I go to my prerequisite scripts, I guess, I can use the iteration data.
Yep. Iteration.
So it was called path.
Don't get it.
Should I get path or should I get value?
I think it depends on what they have.
Yeah, I think I can take both, right? I can do this, and then here I can get value. And I can actually do... yeah, this should work. So now if I run this again, but this time I look at the console. Oh, it did not output in the console. Because...
we have...
this what I should do.
Oh.
That makes sense. Okay.
How did we?
Yeah, I was just expecting, you know, how like it's so easier to code now that you just expect the computer to do it for you. Like just because you think about doing something, it should do it. So let's run again. Okay, and this time, yeah, so I can see my values here. And I guess this would allow me to do some like conditions on the runs, etc., etc. Based on the data in the file. Cool. Okay, that's a good and simple, I think, overview of how you can use data files with Postman. One use case for that I can see, if you have like, for example, if you want to just register a whole bunch of people to a service, and that service has an API, and all you have is a CSV file. Like if that CSV file has like first name, last name, age, address, etc., you can use that as a data file, as an input to your API call, and just call over and over just to register all the users. There's probably a lot of other, like it can be for users, it can be for like parts, if you're trying to register parts for something. Yeah, I can see a lot of use cases, but yeah, that's one of them at least. Okay, what should we do next?
I think there's one thing that let me think about one question that is frequently asked. Okay, from the collection part, from the collection point of view, if we go for any collection. So once you navigate there, so user mentioned that I had a collection that I've deleted. So how can you recover a collection? We can go to the trash. But what if I delete one of the requests? How do I recover that? How do
Okay,
I do
so
that?
let's go and delete one
Try.
that I would actually use. So I'm gonna delete that one. Actually, you know what? Let's do that.
Let's
Let's
try
just turn on the light
on the line.
in Joyce's flat, because why not? Actually, I think that's this one. So this one will turn on the light.
Let's Joyce.
Joyce. Okay, so let's check. What time is it in San Francisco? It's 2 a.m. Okay. So hopefully she doesn't have the light in her bedroom. But
tricky
yeah.
Jim. Tricky Jim.
Okay, so let's say I delete that request, right?
Yeah.
By mistake, my finger slipped, I pressed delete, and then my other hand slipped and I pressed confirm. What do I do?
Yeah, so if you delete a request, sorry, we are unable to give it back to you.
Is that what you say to the users?
But if you if you expand the collection, there's something called change log, from which you can actually restore if you expand it.
So is it here? A few more actions?
No, not the more actions, like expanding the collection. I don't know how this. What do you call that?
This one.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it was previously as a play button.
yeah.
I don't know.
Now it's a proper arrow, so we can click on the arrow.
Yes,
okay.
click on the arrow, and you have the change log.
Yep.
The fourth tab, and there you can click on restore the one that you've deleted. Yes.
I restore. Collection restored.
No.
Okay.
But you did not get your thing back. But again, let's see if you have got it back. No, you've not got it back.
So do I need to refresh or something?
No. Sometimes you know what happens. I think the one that you clicked on is the delete one.
Oh,
and
okay.
If you go down a little, if you scroll up, you created a collection. Can you click on that restore?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, we have it. So a trick
to recover your data. Let me turn off the light just in case. Oops, nothing happened. Hopefully she won't watch the stream to see what we've been doing. But I think we should do that every time we stream on a Tuesday, until she actually puts a timer on it, so it can't be turned on during the night. Okay, so that's fine. Let's look at. People don't have questions, so I'm guessing everyone has an amazing experience with Postman, which is good. We do have people asking questions on the community forum, so we'll have a quick look at that and look at the latest. So this one I saw earlier, and I think that's a great question for you, because that's probably the type of question that you usually have.
Right.
So the question is, team plan is currently limited to 10 integration. Is it possible to add more by paying per collection instead of upgrading to the next plan?
I think upgrading is the only option, because we don't have use as you go per collection per integrations. You have it for monitors, and somewhere on the lines the mocks we are trying to add it, but for integrations there's nothing as such. So the only option is to upgrade here.
Okay. Is there so the question is also, like, is it possible to make GitHub integration per collection?
Yeah.
When you create a GitHub integration, is it one for your whole team, or is it one for a collection?
It's one for a collection. So even if you have it shared with your team, so that counts as one collection, right?
Okay. So let's go for it.
Yes.
And as always, we welcome people. This paying as you go for GitHub.
Meanwhile, let me just see if we have any feature request on that. Maybe if any of the users have.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can redirect them to.
Yeah, actually, correct. and then maybe
It's not the one.
a Postman issues should be the one. Yeah,
Yep.
right.
You can add it as a feature request on our GitHub repository.
Right.
Cool. One person replied already. Good stats.
Making progress. Yeah.
Yep. This one looks complicated by the title of it, but let's have a go at it.
I have to
So,
do a-
yeah, go for it.
I have to do a multiple post call with the same test data. My request body of post contains 3 elements, which forms composite key. When I do multiple requests, I get response code as 499 conflict instead of 201 created. First request gets completed with the response code 201. What is the best way to delete existing key combination from SQL Server DB so that I won't get 409 conflict responses? Unfortunately, I don't have delete method API call with me.
Yeah. I like how it went. Like I was reading that, and the question was, oh, what's the best way to delete existing? And in my brain, it was like, well,
Postman API.
if you have a delete function on your DB, then that's what you can do. And then the next sentence is like, unfortunately, I don't have a delete method API call with me. So that's gonna be a tricky one.
Yeah.
I'm guessing like if they have an update method, they can update to replace with like random data.
Yeah. But again,
without a delete method, then there's not much you can do, I'm afraid. Let's see. I'll just ask for more information.
Yeah.
About the API. Delete method, you may try to do an update instead and replace by a random value. Cool. 2 out of 2. Going strong.
Boom. So I think this. Let's check with the ones that have 0 responses.
Yeah, true. Oh, but this doesn't sort by.
Oh yeah, the latest. Yeah, again.
Okay, so this one has 0.
Okay, nested JSON. Yeah.
So that's actually a question we get a lot. There's a lot of people coming on the community forum and just like asking how to get to a specific entry in the JSON. So let's actually do this one and just show how you would do like in general for anyone to use. So I want to retrieve only the email listed in the response below. Can you help me with my code? So that's the code. So let's create a random request, right?
Okay.
And we'll use, as always, we just use the Postman echo, which just sends you back whatever you send to it. Right. So I'll add this data to body. Okay. Oof. Oh, no. So that's the... Can I actually do replace all on... Probably not. Let's just do it in code. Let's do... Okay. Yeah, so that's the other thing, right? Like whenever you copy paste from one edit, like text editor from another, so you copy from one text editor to Word, then to Word, from Word to Community, then from Community to Postman, and this changes like all the double quotes for all the stuff. So let's just change. Yep, that's not what I want to do. Just want to edit once, okay, and then change this one. Interesting. Okay, just like that, fixed. Let's go back to Postman.
Sweet.
Okay, so we have that data. If we send that, we should get it as a response. We
For
should 404 not found. Oh, because I'm sending a get request to a post endpoint.
post.
Okay, cool. So we have this, and the question was
How do you retrieve
only this
Oh.
email.
address?
Okay, and so that person's so that's good. Like that person's already
Yes.
tried to write some
Right.
stuff. We often have like questions where it's just people hoping that we'll do it by default. Like we're always happy to help, but it's always like better when users have to give it a try before, and then it helps us as well, knowing what they've already tried. So what are they doing here? They're converting the response to JSON. Fair enough. So you can like parse it, and then so instead of doing an environment.set, let's do a console log.
Yeah.
Just to see like what's coming out every time.
Okay.
And we can open the console, put it small, we don't need it to be too big. So if we send this, what's coming out? Can I read property 1 of undefined? Okay.
I think because of the array.
So
JSON.
usually, so how would you recommend going through that? Like if you're getting started and all you have is JSON data.
I think there's a site that I use to find out which array is inside it so that I can find it, but I cannot recall the site there.
Actually, let me. I don't know.
Do you know
So,
that?
have you heard of
site?
Danny Denton?
No. Danny, yeah.
No, you've not.
I know it.
So I know he's created a collection,
Okay.
which allows you to filter through JSON. So let me see. I think it's on the community forum.
Community.
Would it be community showcase or from the expert? I don't know if he considers himself as an expert, so he probably wouldn't have posted here just because he's too humble. Yeah, it's probably not posted here. Let me see. Any JSON CSV as a table. It's not the one. Create and save JSON file data. That's not the one. Oh, okay. So we have XPath data filtering. And then let's see. We want JSON path. Right. That's the one. So let's see. I'm cheating a bit now, right? Like I'm getting away from the from the main problem, but okay. So I can select workspace. I want that to be imported in, put in my personal workspace.
Yes.
And it's called yeah. So that's the one.
Visualizer.
So this one gets random user and result 5. So it returns some stuff, and then if you go visualize, you can actually go through it. But let's do the same as we had here, right? So I'll take Postman echo. It should work the same, I think, as long as you're
having the tests.
As long as you return some JSON, it should work. And let's do this body row JSON. If I send this, if I add .com.
.com, yeah. Yes.
Okay. And now let's see. So apparently it says. So here already, see I put $, and I see my stuff here. So what do I want? It's an array of an array. It's an interesting format. So will it be .0? Okay, so I'm now on the first array.
Okay.
And I wanted, that's the email they wanted, right?
Right.
Okay, yes, so let's do .0 again to get the first element. Oh, no.
No.
So how do I get this? What if I do .args? Okay, so .args is empty. Fair enough. So we want .data. Okay, so we have data. Getting there.
Right.
.emails, you think?
Yeah, .emails. Let's try. No, not that. Data and you think the 0, the one that they write, within an array. Yeah. .emails.
Nice.
Yes, and then we have the
email addresses.
no.
Oh, was it email address?
Email address. Yeah, directly email address.
Oh, do we need a .0? Okay, we need a .0.
Yes.
Okay, so that connection, I guess, is an easy way to navigate through your JSON using JSON path, and tells you kind of like where you can expect your data to be, which is nice, but doesn't exactly like help us write. It helps us write the code because we know, okay, so I need to go into first cell of my array, then get data object, get the first cell, email object, first cell, etc. But now we need to replicate that in that code, right? So I've got my JSON data, and if I just send this, so usually what I recommend when going through this kind of stuff is just start from your response and see how it looks like, right? So if I send this, now I can see this is everything that I have, and it tells me I need to go into data. So if I go json.data, and you can go like, you can go as slow as you need. You can always go like one by one, and so see now I have email, so I can go .email, and now it says undefined. So I guess it's already giving me an array. So I can do data of 0, and now this should only give me one of them. Okay. And now I can do .emails. Oh, you think it's, or is it
email address, I guess.
I think it's first .emails.
Okay.
And then in this one we do email address. Yeah, that's a. So that's what I mean. Like always go like one by one. You start from the higher level and you add as you go. And like using the console, you can go down as you go. So again, 0 dot email address, and this should give us exactly what we want. And strangely or not, this looks pretty similar to what we had in here, right? So we get the data by default, and then we do emails, like .0 emails, 0 email address, and here we have data 0 email, 0 email address. So like it's a nice way to use a visualization to know like where you need to get your data from. We have a question. Here we go with questions. I like questions. So Aline is asking, is there any way to hide the response to a GET so it will not show with Postman proxy interceptor? So I'm not sure I understand the question, right?
Yeah.
So if you're asking if you can hide the response in the UI, then yes. If you want to hide the response, you can toggle this to the bottom, and then you won't see the response, and you can send your request as much as you want. But if you're asking whether you can use the Postman interceptor or proxy, but not save the response with it, I think in the history you have that toggle,
not saving responses,
which you can turn off or on, basically. So if you're using this and do not turn it on, then it shouldn't save the responses. Andrew is saying the streaming video quality is a bit blur. If that's the case, try to go on Twitch. It may be better. So twitch.tv/getpostman. Okay, so Aline was just asking whether like they could hide the response here. So that should be your answer. If you're not interested in like seeing the response and you just need like more like real estate for your work,
I
then that's
think
pretty much it. Like, yeah.
he means he wants to save the response. I even hide the response as such.
Okay. Someone could use
So
Postman to reverse engineer.
engineer.
Yep. Yeah, that's like that's one of the Postman is a testing tool as well, right? And reverse engineering is always an interesting thing to do when you try to like debug something. So reverse engineering is not a bad thing. Like, depends what you do with it. But that's the point of interceptor. You do something on the random website. Like you do, for example, we have an example where we go on Reddit and we upvote a post. And then by saving all this on Postman, all the requests, you can find a specific one where the upvote happens. And you can see, oh, this is exactly the code that is being done. And this is how I could replicate it. And you could automate upvotes on post thanks to that. There's plenty of tools that allow to do that. It's an interesting way to do it. If you're asking whether from your website there's a way to hide the response from Postman, like you don't want it to be shared with Postman, then no. It's just like that's how the browser works, right? Like you send a request, it sends back the data, and all that Postman does. So let's give an example where I send a request to Twitter, right? If I open the console and I go to network, everything that happens in the interceptor is what happens in here. So like all these requests, and it's never like how do I say? It's never like hidden, because let's say I send, so I'll empty this. I think I can clear. Let me do not preserve logs. Okay, so all my requests here are empty, and I'm gonna go to my explore, right? Good news, Ed Sheeran just celebrates his first child. Congrats to him. And stuff happens here, and I can click on them, and I can see, let me make that a bit bigger. I can see the response. This one has no response data. Let's see. Okay, this one has, see, and it's exposed here. So you're saying I can hide it in browsers, etc., only if it comes from a specific URL, but with Postman it exposes it.
I think with the interceptor also you have that chance. I think if you click on interceptor, I think there's a way we can block.
Let me go on the app. Interceptor.
Okay. Yeah, interceptor. Show additional. Click on show additional. Yeah, I think
so you can filter only,
you can filter like only the ones that you want Postman to, like the interceptor to capture those requests. You can add it as a domain, and that would come.
Yeah. Okay. So like if you have, I'm interested to. So Aline is saying they can add it in the browser if it comes from a specific URL, but I'm interested in that. Like I've not heard of that before. Whether like you could say I don't want the browser to record like requests that are coming from a specific URL. So that if you have anything to share, please do. But yeah, if you're asking on as a user, if you can filter it in Postman, then yeah, you can, and that's what Raj said, right? Like you can go here and just say, I only want this specific URL to be recorded. I don't want all of it to be recorded. But if you're asking as a developer from your website perspective, whether you don't want Postman to be able to record stuff, all that Postman does is taking the information from the browser, right? Like it doesn't, it's not hacking into anything. It only takes the information that is available to it. So there shouldn't be any like security issues or anything with that. in that sense. Yeah, I think I think so. Alin's saying have to put up an example to be more clear. I think that would be
Okay.
helpful. Okay, so in the meantime, let's
What kind of domains that we would want the request to come, but
Yeah.
to block it, I think I haven't seen anything such.
So that's done.
Yeah,
So let's
check it.
let's
While
actually reply to
was
that
out there
person
example.
in the
Right.
meantime.
Yeah. I think Alan will put out his query, so
Yep.
while he types it, we'll just respond.
Linux. Welcome to the community, and then put a little rocket. Cool. So wait, they actually wanted the second one, I think, in the let me double check. So where is this one? This one.
The fourth one, third one.
Okay, so this one would be
two
of one, I'm guessing. Oop.
Okay.
And then emails, this one would be one as well. Let's see what this says. Yeah, okay. First try, whoop whoop. I will be back in some minutes. Sorry for. Oh no, you very welcome to hijack the chat. That's what we do here. Like anyone that has questions or wants to discuss anything Postman related, that's what we want to do first. And then if no one asks questions, we'll do like what we're doing now. But it's priority to the chat always. So go for it. So here's the code snippet you'll need to use. And I think you can use that to get some nicely indented code, maybe? Yeah.
Yes.
Arrays are, how do you say, numbered from 0. Actually, I don't think that was the issue. I think they were just, what was missing in theirs? It was missing the data.
I think their data, yeah.
Yeah.
Data.
Data object in your code.
And also the link of Danny's collection would be great.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah.
Get the reference.
Good point. Where did I find this again? Here. XPath? Nice.
Yes. Right. This is great.
If you have to do add this collection from nice.
3 out of 3.
Yeah. Oh, Danny's on the chat. We need to watch what we're saying. Yeah, Danny, we've been talking about you for the last half hour. Where have you been? Look at everything we've done. We've imported your collection, filtered some stuff out. Then we did the same in the test scripts. Working. Who does that? What is that? Okay, cool. Let's wait to see if Arlene comes back from something, with something. So that was cool. Actually, Danny, while you're here, let me show you something, which I actually didn't raise before. I don't know if you noticed, Raj, but when we tried to import that collection, and we did run in Postman, one cool thing that it did when you do Postman for web is that it asked me which workspace I want to import it in.
Yeah.
Whereas, as far as I remember, if you import in the app, it just goes to like whichever last workspace we're working on. So that was
Right.
pretty cool. I like that.
Oh, I
Actually,
missed
we can
that. I
just
missed
try.
that.
Let me do Postman for Windows and
Windows.
see what it says.
It
Yeah, it just
takes
imports it, right? It
import.
just goes straight. And I'm guessing it imports it. Yeah, it imports it where I am, so it should be somewhere here. But yeah, I like that. This is cool.
So Danny wants it in the app as well. So
Yep.
yes.
Yeah. Second that, Danny. It will get there eventually. Cool. So that's cool. All right. Helped so many people already. Let's see if we can get another person. So you said we need to look at those that are
Zero.
not answered.
Yes. I think we have a CSV file.
Oof, this one looks like a tough one.
Postman request the collection runner. CSV file for input streams. How can I validate its response control stream?
Ooh.
I wants to validate. Screen first statement about pick using the Postman collection runner. I want to validate the response contains Sydney as a text value and give the result as pass or fail, as well as write the actual response to the actual result column of the above file. This should continue till the last row of the CSV file.
So that's cool. It's kind of like when we started the stream, we did some work with data files.
Correct.
And we can build on that. I think, if I'm not mistaken, validating should be easy enough. So if you go back to, so we're looking at the documentation. Let me go back to it. Data files.
All right.
So you have this handy command, which is iteration data.get. So you could be using this to compare the value of. So you would do pm.iteration data.get get expected value, expected result, and you would compare it with the actual response from the API. That's fine, and then you could test that. Though the other question they have is they want to write the actual response to the CSV file. Is that feasible?
Possible? I don't think that is possible, though, as far as I know. But do you
yeah,
think...
as far as I know, all like you only take that data as an input,
right?
But you can't. We have actually a lot of questions around writing to file Postman. I think that's one of the most and there's actually a collection for that.
Yeah, and this one is from Sivgan. Yes.
Yeah. I've used that one a few times, and I think it requires you having to run a local. So you need a local server that runs, and basically what you do, you have a first request that you do your request, you get your data back, and then in the test script of that, you will get that response, send it to your local server, and this local server is going to write it to a file. So it's kind of a so I like doing this when I talk about this type of stuff. So you have request one. Ooh, that's small. I don't like that. Let me get a big one. What do I do? Where's my brush size? There we go. So you have request one, right? Oh, beautiful. And the response, as you can tell, I'm a expert handwriting thing. Response is sent to a local server.
On that video.
Let's whoop. And this saves to a file. So it's not like it's not very straightforward, right? Like you need to have that running on your machine. It's not as easy as like just using the data file and writing on the data file. But it's a way to do it. In this case, so for that person that we're like looking at the question, that would be a bit of a tricky one because they're expecting to update the same file.
Same file, yeah.
Yeah, so there would be like
I
some trick to like edit the file rather than just save the file.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
So Danny is saying you could do this
Yeah.
with Newman. I think there are a couple of questions in the community with some code snippets. Okay, cool.
Right.
I don't think we'll reply to that one. I'll reply to that one once we end the stream.
Right.
But in the meantime, there's another question.
Yeah.
Tensoriality.
Otherwise,
One of our most, how do you say when someone keeps coming back? What's the word for that? Is
the
it
recurring. I don't know, sorry.
recurring
That's
user,
the wrong.
like faithful user?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I'm losing the little
so
bit of English that I have. Stalker. Yeah, that's the one. One of our most recurring stalkers.
no.
Just kidding, Tensoriality. Let me look at your
Yeah.
question. It's more like a feature request, actually. Can you implement multiple authorization functionality in Postman? For example, I have OAuth 2 and then basic auth over it. I had to write scripts and fill headers manually. A lot of pain with generating signature, or is there some workaround at the moment? I think the workaround is probably what you're doing already, right? Like you would use some authorization here. So if you have OAuth 2, and we have updates to the whole OAuth 2 coming in, I think soon, like probably in the next update, which will make it easier to use different stuff here. But yeah, like you would have that, and obviously if you're using a token here, that's my very complicated token. You can add it to the header, and this should already be, if I look at my headers here, I should have a very complicated one that is added here. And then if you have like just an API key, for example, you would add it like yourself, and you can do this is my API key. So there's no more tricks to it than what you're already doing, I think, which is just like doing it manually. There's some automation you can do, as in like if all the, let's say I have which I'm not in any collection. Let's say I'm in that collection using data file, and you have a bunch of requests here, and they all use the same. So if you're not aware, you can just set the authentication, the one that you use throughout the whole thing, at the collection level. So you can go in here and say, this is the authorization for my whole collection, and say in there with auth from parent, and then you can do like just whatever you need to add on top from here. And again, here you could use a variable in the value to make it easier to just update everywhere using the variables, but I think you're already familiar with that. So yeah, I don't think that would be what you're doing is the workaround. If you would like to add that as a feature request, actually let me double check if we have it already. Postman app support issues. Oh. So what would it be? Do we have a label for auth?
Authentication services.
Nope. Let's do auth. Okay. So there's 58 feature requests, I think, for auth, or feature request and or bugs.
I think the headers maybe.
Remember what token is selected. I think most of them are like related to auth 2, and that's like most of the stuff that we're looking to fix in the next release. Override existing token. So, okay, this one is another one. No, it's auth 2. I don't think we have a feature request for that specific use case, and it's not something that I don't know if you see that often, Raj, like APIs that use multiple like authentication.
Yeah, they use it, but The thing is, we again ask them to post it in
Yeah, I
GitHub.
think.
So
Yeah, so I'd just say add it as a feature request there, um, and we'll
yeah,
have a
no,
look.
yeah,
The
it's
stalker is a bit happier now. Good thing. We like making people happy. Um, okay. Okay, we're right on the clock at 11 a.m. my time. Let's see. Okay, Aline is back. Well, still preparing the URLs. Can you please tell me how long you will still be live? It is very important for me, this answer. Thanks a lot. So we won't be live for long now, but as you're preparing stuff, as you've seen, we're always looking at the questions on the community forum. And on the community forum, you'll get Raj, you'll get me, but you also get like all of the rest of the product support. You'll get Danny, who works in the quality engineering team, and you'll get a lot of people from the community that are able to help you. So once you have your URLs ready, please post here, post in the help section of the community forum. I mean, you've explained a bit to us, so we'll be seeing it and we can reply if we get the answer. If not, someone else will be able to help for sure. But you'll get a lot more chances to get your question answered if you post there. So keep prepping your stuff as soon as it's ready. Post in the community forum instead of here because we'll have to log out soon. Or you can come back later today because we have another session at 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
UTC, which may be a bit late for you. I don't know where you're located.
late.
But if you're in the Asia Pacific region, it's definitely going to be too late. So I would I would recommend posting on the community forum. TensorIT is saying most of them, it's relevant for staging mostly. Most of them are covered with basic. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like having different authentication is not something that you see a lot in prod. But yeah, it makes sense for staging. If you have if you're talking about using one collection to query both staging and prod with like different authentication, what I would just recommend is doing 2 different collections, one for prod and one for staging, where you have your different calls and different authentication methods. Cool. Aline says it's okay. We'll be looking forward to your post there, and we can help there. Raj.
Yes, Alimi.
Anything else before we go?
I know. I was happy that we had a lot of questions today.
Yeah, that was good.
Good that we got it.
I like so. I do like when we like look into something with the questions on the community, but it's always better to have the people on the chat because then we can see if we start answering in the wrong way, then they can tell us straight away. Like Aline did. Like you see, I started explaining some random stuff about saving response, and Aline says straight away, this is not what I'm asking about, and that helps a lot. And also, I think that's the other point that Aline just said. The fact that we're here, we can explain a lot of details, and it's always easier when you have your screen shared and you can explain stuff.
Right.
So good to hear, Aline. We'll be in the afternoon. Cool. Have it done in your own time. There's no rush. But if you say it's a pressing matter, post it whenever it's ready, and we'll have a look at it. Anything that I need to talk about? Yeah. So a couple of things. If you just joined and because it's the morning for you, just know there's another session later today that you can ask your questions at, or if not, just ask them on the community forum. Other thing, if you're looking to an event like this one, but where we actually try to build something instead of answering questions, this Thursday we have Joyce, who's doing send a woof call. So if you we do a lot of the office related stuff here somehow. I don't know why, but if you've been watching The Office, there's this Woof app, which is
Woof.com.
basically Woof.com, which is functionality that you want to send a message to someone, you just send it to one place, and it just rings every single thing that it could ring. And that's what they're going to do. So we having a guest from Courier, and there'd be the old channel notification. So send a message somewhere, and it just triggers. I don't know actually what it's going to trigger, but if you want to look how to build that, and if you're looking forward to being like rank everywhere, then join in and like just build it with us. Like it's basically it's just going to be a building stream. So they're gonna go through some code, go through some documentation, and try to build it in an hour and a half. We'll see how that goes. Thank you, Francis. Yeah. With that say, thank you all for joining. Let me just put Raj the right size. Cool.
Yes.
Thank you, Raj, for helping, for joining again at the last minute. Next month, I'm getting Francis. Francis, you're on the line. I'm already telling you.
Francis.
You'll be joining the stream. Yeah. Have a good day. Have a good day, Raj. And
yes. Bye. Have a good
bye-bye.
day, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.